here we are. We're going to finish the Hasbro Secret Wars Marvel Legends collection that has come out recently. This time we're going to be focusing on the villains. Well, mostly the villains. We do have one hero in this pack. So we have the two on the card back here, Titania, who was never done before in the Secret Wars collection back from Mattel, and Beyonder, who wasn't even in Secret Wars, to be honest. He was in Secret Wars 2. Which I like to call Ferris Beyonder's Day Off, because it was not really a war. It was just about him trying to learn what it is to be human. And it was over a collection of multiple comic books and not just the core comic books like Secret Wars was in the first run. So we have this character also for the first time introduced into a line of Secret Wars figures. And then we have this 2-pack that came out just a little before these, and it is Doctor Doom and then Captain Marvel. You can see their Secret Wars artwork here. And he even has the Secret Wars look with no cape on there. Very similar design to the Mattel figure as well. And then we have Captain Marvel, who was also never done by Mattel in the Secret Wars line, or Toy Biz in their Secret Wars line. So we have these four here making up the second part of this wave. So why don't you come on in and we'll check these guys out. So like last time, we get the portrait on the back with a little character fact here. And then we have a instruction for using the secret shield. This time it's square instead of round. And because all the bad guys had this square secret shield. So for Titania, I mean, interesting character. They introduced her in Secret Wars. Just so happened that a suburb of Denver was captured and brought to Battle Planet. And Titania and Volcana were also made by Doctor Doom, taken from their apartments in that suburb of Denver. Very convenient plot point. And then we have the Beyonder's card here as well. I want to show you, he also has a little picture in a comic. This is, I believe, halfway through the run, he changed his look to this for the Beyonder. But in Secret Wars, of course, he was just like a spectral glow. He didn't really have a form. So here we go. Here's our figure. So interesting to see, because Mattel never did any female characters. They wanted to keep the body types all the same, and they didn't really think that they'd sell that well. So they didn't focus on female characters. They focused on the core heroes. And then they did some characters that were never actually in the novel or in the comics. So it's nice to see Titania here. She's got her little spikes showing off on the side. She's got her classic comic look here, even with these really high boots. I think, yep, you could rotate at the top of the thigh here. So that gives you that as well. We have all the articulation we saw in the other figures, so nothing different here. Elbows, biceps, shoulders, head, although the hair is going to limit a little bit on what you can articulate in the back there. So I think that's pretty cool. Not sure why she needed to wear a mask. Hiding your identity was kind of unnecessary when you're a bad guy, because you're just in bad guy mode 24/7, I feel. So there is no need for a secret identity. But this is her costume. It looks tough and intimidating, and she looks strong. So in addition to that, she comes with her secret shield, which she just goes, the mask pretty much just comes off in the secret shield here. And it has the same sort of feature as the other ones, where it has that peg, which I don't understand why, because there's no hole or anything in the back here. And then it has the swivel to the being able to clip onto an arm or something. A little harder with her little spike sticking up out of her wrist, but we'll try to see if we can clip it on here. Yeah, there we go. So we can get that on there. So she could wear her secret shield if she wanted to. So that's a nice little option. The only other accessories she comes with are her hands, so you could change them to a sort of a open, sort of grasping pose if you wanted to choke somebody, say, or throw something. You could do that. And then they come with this weird insert. It's square this time instead of circular, and it still has instructions on the back there. It doesn't do anything, so putting it in the lenticular insert won't really make it change. It's just a straight image. So that is the only other thing you could do. So of course, if you wanted to, you would open this up in the middle here. It opens kind of similar to how the original ones do, and then it would just sit in here, and then you could close it, and then that's all it does. There's no change on this versus the original versions. On this one, the lenticular aspect is on the card itself, whereas before there was a little glass insert here, and all the different inserts would fit in and allow you to change them based on their positioning there. So that is really all for Titania. I don't think I need to show you the hands. It's just going to be open hands if you wanted to do that. But that is your look at Titania figure. Nice addition to the line. Getting into some female characters for once in the Marvel Legends Secret Wars line, and Mattel never got into that for Secret Wars. So now we have our Beyonder. Here we go. He's wearing his leisure suit. That I think he became more synonymous with that in the book where he took on a life of crime. But here's his look. I mean, he's got that fun hairstyle, that menacing look on his face. Maybe an alternate head would have been nice here, but we don't get an alternate head. We get some alternate hands instead. So you can see him with his cuffed up outfit here, the collar popped underneath. It looks like this jacket is not molded to his chest. It's kind of sitting on top there, which is a nice look. And yeah, I mean, that's it. He's basically here wearing his leisure suit and chilling out, looking menacing. That's basically all he did in the series. He comes with a battle world, so you can see the different patchwork on here for different areas. You see different structures. You don't see any cities or anything. Oh, maybe you do. This kind of looks a little like a building here. So that's kind of neat. And then you can see all the different colors on there as a battle world that he assembled, as if he's like hovering over it in a giant being mode. And then he comes with some hands, which are not cooperating. Here we go. He's got some little hands, menacing hands, so he could hold this if he wanted to with those hands. And then he has his secret shield, and it goes from his face to the sort of formless function of Beyonder, where he's just like some kind of spectral energy. Again, he wasn't in Secret Wars, so it's an interesting character choice by Hasbro. He comes with this little 40th thing too, to make you a Secret Wars 2. When he had a look like this, Beyonder was just kind of a beam of light in Secret Wars. So, but he didn't have his form until the second one. So he is Secret Wars. He's just not Secret Wars. He's one of the Secret Wars. So this is his look here. Like I said, I think it's after, I want to say around issue 3 or 4, he starts to have this look, because originally he was looking like Captain America. So they went with the look for later on in Secret Wars 2. But that is your Beyonder. He doesn't really need an accessory because he's like an all-powerful being. So he can pretty much do whatever he wants. So I'm going to throw him in the bad guy category, although he was just kind of neutral, didn't really have a position. He was just trying to figure things out. But that is basically him. He was even a good guy for a while, where he just kind of eliminated all crime and everything. So that is the Beyonder. Now let's get into our 2-pack here that we had of Doctor Doom and Captain Marvel. You can see the little comic work there on the side. And this one is not a card back. This is in the plastic-free packaging that we got. So we're going to start with our villain, because we want to wrap up on the villains here. So we have him mummified here in his little segment. Now we have this look, and this God Look Doom is from toward the end of the series, I think the last 2 issues, where he gets the powers of the Beyonder, and he fixes his face. So he finally gets his face here. I think the cover is something like his hand sticking out like this on it. So this is kind of nice because they have the hood down on here. He has this nice shiny armor here. This looks very similar to the Mattel figure, where he has the body armor there, and the legs, and I think we could show you guys that. Let me pull it off the wall here so you can see him here next to his Mattel counterpart. He doesn't have sort of the little leg holster thing over here. He's got a silver one instead, and it's probably not functional. He doesn't have the circuitry on the armor like he did in the Mattel figure, and he doesn't have a holster on his back like he did in the Mattel figure either, but he's pretty similar in nature to the character. Doesn't have the cape, and if we wanted to, we have the alternate head sculpt here with some alternate hands as well. So the alternate head sculpt would allow us to pull this off, take off the hood, because you're going to have the hood on in just a second right here. So now we have him back here with his hood on, looking very similar now to the Mattel figure. So something interesting that you could do with that. And you could see, like Comic Doom, you could see his eyes with the skin there periodically through the eye slits there. So I think that's kind of cool. And yeah, he doesn't come with a weapon. Like I would have preferred to see him come with a weapon. but he doesn't come with a weapon accessory on the side. That would have been really cool, because you recall the original Doom, and let me grab him really quick. The original Doom came with a weapon on both his back, and he came with a weapon on his side here in a holster mode that could be holstered into the hip. So it would have been cool if he had sort of some similar features to the character, because you recall the Iron Man we showed you came with this blaster. So Hasbro did tool it, so they could have included it in the set and given him his little blaster here, and they could have made it more like more of a throwback to that Doom. But they did, I mean, with the costume essentially, it's very similar. They really have that look down for this Doom, so I really like it. And they have the boot design, kind of reminiscent of the old Mattel figures as well. So they still kind of a nice homage to that figure. I hope we get this guy in a Secret Wars card back. They already have him done. Let's just get him in a Secret Wars card back. Give him a secret shield like Doom had here originally in the Mattel line, and give him a blaster. And that's all you really need to do is repackage him for that. So the other thing you could do with him, if you wanted to pop the head off and put that other head back on, whoop, I forgot to put the, it comes off really easy, at least. You got that. Got the hood. You could give him his mask here. So he could hold the mask in his hand, and you could have the taken off mask look for Dr. Doom. Not really, they should give you, maybe this hand's better for it. They should give you more of a gripping hand, also for holding a blaster. So that is essentially Dr. Doom, and then he has fists if you want to do fists instead. So that is our entire look there at the villains, and now we had one hero character that came in this pack, and that was Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel we haven't seen in the original Secret Wars line. There were no girl characters, so kind of cool to have this. What I like about her little outfit here is if you bend the arm, it still is connected, because they have two layers here. So it always gives the appearance that it's flowing through even when you bend the arm, which is a nice design to that figure. So you can see this here, and if I straighten it out, you know, it just folds back in and then it looks smoother. But if I bend it all the way forward, it still gives the illusion that it's all one piece. So it's a fun little design that Hasbro did there. So hats off to the engineering on that. So she has her hands, you could turn them into fists. That's the only other aspect there. She's got her mask on. They did a nice job with the hair, and she has all the standard articulation of all the other figures as well, all the way down to her little high heel platform here. So a little harder to get her to stand because of that though, but I'm sure you could find a balance point at somewhere in here. It's just with shoes, there we go, with shoes like that it's a little tricky. I do like how she has the peg on the back, so if she had a secret shield, she could store it there. The only other character that had that we saw on the line was Captain America. So that is pretty much it for Captain Marvel there. There's not much else going on, so it just kind of helps you expand your Secret Wars line. So now we are up to 8 done in this Secret Wars-esque packaging, or the card backs, which is pretty cool, and I hope they definitely continue the line, although we saw nothing at Toy Fair indicating that. We'll see. We'll talk to Hasbro when we're out at SDCC this year, and we'll see if they have any more comments on are they continuing the Secret Wars line. It seemed to be pretty popular. A lot of people, these things sold out really quick when they came out on the market, so maybe. But they did do all the popular characters, so not sure where we go from here. We'll have to see. But that's your look at this 2-pack essentially here. You got Doom and Captain Marvel, and that is your look at all the rest of the figures in the villains wave of Secret Wars. That's Titania and Beyonder. That went with the other 4 characters we had and we showed you last time. Those were all the heroes, and now we have one hero here with these villains. All right, and that wraps it for our look at the Marvel Legends Secret Wars line, celebrating the 40th anniversary. Coming on those great classic card backs, you can feature the whole line here. Now it's just these 8 figures as far as we could tell. It's the 6 that were in that packaging, and then the 2 that were in this little packaging here. You can see the comic panel. I don't think they did any other ones. I don't know if they're going to do more. We didn't see anything at Toy Fair. Hasbro did not talk about it. We have SDCC coming up this year, so maybe we'll get more. Where we will pass the 40th anniversary. We're in the 40th anniversary of Secret Wars 2, but we'll see. It would be great. It's a fun line. That was a fun line back then. It would be nice to see justice for more female characters because Mattel never did any. I think Toy Biz might have done 1 or 2. I have to go back and check the Toy Biz Secret Wars line. But that original run for Mattel, first Marvel action figure line ever. So it's kind of historic in that aspect, but only 16 figures in that original line. Hasbro has done 4 or 5 of the original 16, so there's a lot more to go if they want to just capture that, but it's nice to see female characters added to the line as well. There are a lot of characters on Battle World. It'd be nice to get a whole Marvel Legends Secret Wars line to have all those characters. But we'll see. I mean, sales were pretty strong as far as I can gauge. These things sold out pretty fast. They had to restock them 3 times. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely fan interest for more. The Secret Shield function is a lot of fun, so we love having those. So we'll see. We don't know, but we will keep asking and try to get an answer on what's happening next. So that is all for this time. We have more Mattel Secret Wars coverage. We did all of Wave 1. We did the heroes in one video, then we did the villains. Now we're going to get to Wave 2. We will do all of Wave 2 and maybe all of Wave 3. We'll see. If you know about the original line, the last 3 figures of the second wave were actually canceled and only released overseas. So very tough to track down, very expensive, but we will see if we could do a video of the third wave as well. So that is all for this time. Like, subscribe, and follow. We'll see you guys next time.